So we're gonna sit down on our bums. We're gonna, let's start with the right leg. And we're just gonna go for a 30-second massage session. So I want you guys to use both hands and start brushing up and down your quad. Try to cover the sides of the quad, the front of the quad. You can go very intense, you can go more mild to make it feel good. And then transfer your hands to your hamstrings. And what we're doing here is just waking up the body for the nervous system, saying hello, hello. Dear, we'll be using our hamstrings and quads and calves and shins and everything. And we need them to work with us. Let's go down the shin. You can use both hands or just one. And then go into your calf. And then we're gonna go down to the foot, massage up and down the arch. And I'm using my palm for that. And then we're gonna flip the foot and massage the sole. And with the sole, we're gonna stay just a moment longer. Use all fingers or just your thumbs if you like, and go up and down your foot, covering the entire heel, covering the inner and the outer arch. And I'm still kind of brushing up and down with my fingers. And then taking a moment to massage each toe. And then we're gonna go into a bum slapping moment. So you're just gonna use your fist and go to the side of your glute, all over the back of the glute. Try not to press on your joints, so just staying on the muscle. That's it, the inappropriate moment is done. Let's go up and down your left quad. And I'm covering the IT band, I'm going on the inner thigh, so being all over the place. And then hamstrings. And then when you're ready, go down your shin. And then your calf. And then when you're ready, up and down your arch. And then flip the foot, the sole of your foot. And then go straight into your sole of the foot massage using the fingers, inner outer arches, especially the inner arch. If you dance, that's the area that tends to cramp up. You can go a little bit harder with your thumb. And then take a moment with each toe. Good, let's go into bum slapping. I should come up with a more appropriate term for this. The side of the glute, the back of the glute. Amazing. Okay, guys, grab a block, stand up. We're going to super quickly work with our big toe because toe extension is crucial, especially with positions that we run into all the time, like a plank or tabletop where your knees are off the floor. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to place your right big toe on the edge of a block in a way where your other 4 toes can hang off the block. So you're essentially in a locked toe extension, big toe. You're just gonna hold it there and you get to decide how deep you go into it. For some of you, this might feel very, very tight and uncomfortable. Then you wanna push your knee a little bit further back so you're not deepening the extension. If your toe is more or less mobile and this feels safe, then you can explore pressing your knee forward and then you see how that feels. There's no right and wrong, it should still feel good. There should be no pain. And then from here, we're gonna work this toe. So now you're gonna place the same foot on the other edge of your block in a way where your 4 toes are now resting on top of the block and your big toe is hanging off. I hope that makes sense. I'm gonna turn towards you guys so you can see me. So your 4 toes are on the block and your big toe is hanging down. And then connect to the big toe and see if you can move it up and then point it down. So the other 4 toes are not moving. It's just your big toe. Pointing it down, lifting it up. You might find that there is no movement at all. That's okay, especially if you've never done this. Just think of your toe moving, mind to body, and then let go of any expectation. Otherwise, if it's moving at least a little bit, keep exploring the range. Down, up, flexion, extension. Let's go 2 more. Last one. Amazing. Let's switch. So we're going to start with your left big toe on top of your block. And your other 4 toes are hanging off. And just explore. How does it feel? Just a passive hold. Can I go a little bit deeper? Pressing my knee forward. Maybe that feels great. Maybe that feels terrible. Back out if that's the case. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Let's switch. So your 4 toes are now on the block. Your big toe is hanging down. And you start carefully moving it down and up. Down and up. And then this is also a great time to notice if perhaps on one foot your big toe is actually mobile and strong and the other one might be a little bit asleep, preparing for the winter. Let's go 2. 1 more. Amazing. Okay, shove the block out of the way. Let's come to the front of the mat. Have a little bit of space in front of you because we will be landing our knees down. Give me a little releve, so bring your heels just a tiny bit off the floor. Bend your knees, stabilize your ankles, hands on the front of the pelvis. Let's start going into our first forward fold. Don't make it about your hamstrings. You can let your low back round a little bit if needed. For now, we're focusing just on the ankles. Go down, bring your hands to the floor. Use your hands, start slowly shifting your knees down to the floor. So you'll find yourself in a position where all 10 toes are curled under. From here, you're going to uncurl the toes. Use your hands a lot. See if you can bring your knees just a tiny bit off the floor. No need to turn it into like an impressive visual ballerina hold. We're just trying to bring a little bit of length into the front of the ankle. Then lower your knees down. You're gonna curl your 10 toes one more time. Check that all 10 are participating. And then as you consciously drive your knees forward, so you're trying to keep your knees heavy, start slowly melting back into your heels. But you're trying to keep the deepest range of dorsiflexion in your ankles. So I'm not popping my knees back, I'm pushing them forward. Start transferring your hands behind you so you can comfortably sit into your heels. Good. And then stay here, take an inhale, take an exhale. As you exhale, see if you can drive your knees a little bit further forward, keeping your heels on the floor. Good. Walk the hands further back, bring your sit bones to the floor, extend your legs in front of you. If your hamstrings are on the tighter side, let your legs bend. It's not about the legs. Flex your feet for me, please. Curl your toes under. Pretend you're grabbing 2 big coins or something. Then point your feet out. Keep your toes curled. Now lift all 10 toes up to the sky and try to create as much space between them as possible. Hold that space as you flex. One more round like that. Curl your toes under. Grab those coins. They're gold. Extend. When you extend, quickly peek at your big toes. Check that they're not rotating in. You want to have them in line with your inner ankle. Let's lift the toes up. Create lots of space. And then flex from the ankle. Hands behind your bum, walk your legs in. For some, this might be super easy, for others not. Both are okay. Start slowly shifting your knees forward, keeping the heels down, using the hands, slowly walking them forward. Again, there's a moment where our heels are on the floor, knees are pressing forward. Back to your releve, hands in front. This time we're gonna bring our heels a little bit higher. Bum goes up, legs stay bent. Hands go anywhere in the legs, shins, hips, whatever, or you can keep them on the floor for as long as you can, and then slowly come up, trying to stabilize through the ankles. Lower the heels down. Awesome, we're gonna do one more round like that, and then we'll go into our flow. So this is not flow because we're stopping. For the rest of class, it's go, go, go. One move into the next. We're just warming up our feet. Let's go again, guys. If you can, bring your heels a little bit higher. If that's too much, stay lower. Bend your knees, hands on the hip bones. Start tilting your pelvis forward. And see if you can go all the way down to the floor without bringing your heels down. Carefully lower the bum. Now stay on a very high releve. Use your bum to push it, to push the weight of it a little bit forward into your ankles, and see if you can bring your arches right over your toes, right over your nails. See how that feels. And check that you're not sickling, so your heels are not collapsing out. Let's slowly melt the knees down. Good. Here we're gonna go deeper again. So I want you now to push your heels to the back of the room. So I'm really pressing the weight over my ankles and hold it here. If it's too much, hands can be on the floor. Hold 3, 2, 1. Uncurl the toes, release them. Check that you're not sickling your feet. Press the hands down and see how high can you go with your knees. Creating lots of length at the front of the ankle. Carefully lower down. Let's curl those toes under again. Notice if there's any difference. Maybe it feels a little bit easier to be in this position. And we start slowly shifting the weight back into our heels. Walk the hands back, but remember the goal is to press the knees forward. Hang out here. Good. I like that you're bouncing. Good job. Bum to the floor, extend the legs. Flex your feet. We're gonna start by crunching the toes under. Grab your think of your favorite snack. Grab the snack, point the feet down, flex toes, lots of space between all toes, and then lift your feet up. One more time, curl your toes, point away, toes up, and release. And the final part, we're gonna bring our big toes together, so you're sickling your feet in, tap your toes, they're French kissing, and then move your toes out, keep your feet flexed. Move your big toes together, French kiss, and then they break up. 3 more like that, together, apart. They're a little bit emotionally unstable. They don't know whether they want to be together or walk their separate ways. Let's go one last one. In and out. Good job, guys. Stay down, take a sip of water if you need to, because we're gonna start flowing. So when you're ready, and if you're ready, let's come down on our mat. And let's start bringing movement into our hips. So we're gonna start with our feet outside of our hip bones, wide, wide, wide apart. And you're gonna let your knees sink in like Titanics. Your pelvis might wanna arch, tilt forward a little bit. Try to keep your back as neutral as possible. Now walk your feet together, bring your knees apart. And see if you can engage your outer glutes just a tiny bit. Feet to the outside, knees in. So going inward. Feet together, knees open up. No need to make it look deep. Just bringing movement, nice and slow, into our lower body. Feet together, knees apart. One last one like that, knees in, feet out. How deep can you go before it starts feeling yucky? And then feet together, knees apart. Hold your external rotation, hold your abduction. Point your feet, and you're gonna think of sliding your feet out. So I'm holding my butterfly, and I am slowly extending my legs out. Upon arrival, you'll find your legs in external rotation, both of them. Good. From here, you're gonna rotate your hips inward while your legs are straight, and then drag your feet apart as your knees stay together. Good. Now we're gonna reverse. You're gonna extend your legs out, holding your internal rotation. So your knees are kissing. As you extend, you'll find your legs straight and inward rotated. Go outward as far as you can. You can flex, you can point, drag your feet up so you're back in your butterfly. I'm gonna do it 2 more times. Let's go from the butterfly, dragging out. So your legs are externally rotated. Go inward. Check that your back is not popping fully off the floor. And then drag your feet apart as your knees cave in. Let's go out, opposite. Knees stay together, feet slide out. External, feel your glutes. And then slide your feet up as your knees come up. One last one like that. Go a little bit deeper than before. Just a tiny bit. External, hold, feel it, register it in your body. Now go in the opposite direction, in. And then slide your knees up, feet apart. Good. Walk your feet out. Fairly far away from your hips, not fully extended, but not in our glute bridge position either, so somewhere in the middle. Let's all together place our hands on the pelvis. Give me an exhale, tuck under. So as you tuck, I want you to feel a moment where your glutes are off the floor, but your low back is on the floor. So I'm not up here, I'm low. I'm just tucking from my tailbone. And we're gonna hold it here. I want you to mentally focus on the top part of your hamstrings. And I want you guys to check that your knees are not collapsing out. Keep them neutral. So keep tucking. Think of your glutes driving into your hamstrings. So we're going up and around, up and around. Hold. See if you can connect to your hamstrings. On your next exhale, you want to think of your heels driving back. So think of your heels sliding towards your glutes. Visually, they're not going anywhere, they're staying on one spot, but you're dragging them back to feel the distal part of your hamstrings, which is the area right above your knees. Now hold it here, your legs should be shaking. So you're in a tuck for the top part of the hamstrings, and you're sliding the heels back for the bottom part of the hamstrings. And release down, pelvis neutral. Good, we're gonna do it two more times. Take an inhale. On the exhale, big back tilt. So your glutes come off. You should be able to bring your hands on the floor underneath. Otherwise, low back is on the floor. Hold here. Take an inhale. On your next exhale, start dragging your heels back. Think of trying to close the distance between your glute and your heel. Hold it here. On the outside, it looks like we're not doing anything, and it's nice and easy and boring. On the inside, your hamstrings are on fire. And then relax your pelvis back to neutral. One more round like that. Take an inhale. Your best round. Take an exhale, tuck under. Good, glutes come off the floor, hold. I'm gonna come and watch while you guys are torturing yourself. Good, Sylvia, back more on the floor. Smaller, yes. On your next exhale, start dragging your heels back into your glutes. Trying to close that distance. Slide it, slide it, slide it, slide it. And the more you slide, the more connection you'll build with your hamstrings, mind, body. Good job, guys. Walk your feet now really far out. So your legs are just micro bend. Hands back on the pelvis, on the hip bones. Tuck under. Remember that at no point we want to have our back arch. So if this happens to you, I want you to reset and then try again. So we start with the tuck. Glutes go under, and then you're gonna bring your pelvis just a tiny bit off the floor. We're gonna add rotation here. We're gonna go external with both legs. Your hamstrings, calves off the floor, heels are jamming down. And then you're gonna go fully inward as deep as you can. Feel your adductors, your inner thighs traveling in. Let's go on 8, and 7, and 6, and 5. We're still in the warm-up phase-ish, so go gentle. But start slowly exploring. How far can I take it? 2, last one, 1. Good, lower down, take an inhale, we're not done. Half a step in, both heels. Take an exhale, tuck under again, lift. Hands go at the back of the head, interlaced fingers. And now the balancing comes in. So we're gonna bring our right knee up into the chest and drive our left elbow into that knee. Glutes and hamstrings stay off the floor. Carefully lower. When you guys lower, try not to collapse in the direction of that leg. Now left knee into the right elbow, lower down. Any point if that becomes too much, pelvis goes to the floor, and you just work that gentle twist. And if you maintain your heels trying to slide back, you'll still feel your hamstrings. Otherwise, let's keep going. 6, inhale, exhale, 5, 4, try to keep stable, 3, 2, last one, 1. Good. Carefully lower your pelvis. Both legs extend, right leg comes up. What I want you guys to be aware of here, because again, the focus is hamstrings for this part of class, is don't let your pelvis tuck under. Think of your sit bones, the bottom part of your pelvis, reaching out towards the leg that's on the floor. So the more you try to tilt forward, the more you're gonna pull at the hamstring and create that stretch. On the exhale, leg will come down. As the leg comes down, back is not popping off the floor. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Let's go for 8, 7. Feel your core stabilizing as you exhale and the weight of that leg goes away from your center. 5, 4, good. 3, foot pointed, kneecap pulled up. 2, last one, lift the leg. Check that you're not tucking under. Push your pelvis a little bit into that front tilt. Both hands on your right quad. Take an exhale, lift off. If you want to keep the core out of it, or it's more of the six pack, keep your head down. On the exhale, press into the leg with both hands as hard as you can and resist with your legs. Your leg is traveling towards your face. Your hands are pushing into the leg. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5. Again, if you want to just focus on the leg and bring the abdominal area out of it, head stays on the floor. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Good. Walk your feet in again. Tuck the tailbone, lift back into your glute bridge. We repeat. Let's go. External, internal. 8, 7. I like to inhale when I go out abducting and exhale when I adduct. You can do the opposite because your body is staying under tension the whole time. So do what feels best. 4 in terms of breathing. 3, keep tucking under. 2, good, and 1. Hands at the back of the head. Round 2, final round. Let's go. Left knee into right elbow. As you lower, keep stabilizing your pelvis. Right knee into left elbow. Lower. Give me 6, 5. Bum stays off the floor. 4, 3. Yes, bum off. 2. Last one. Good. Lower the pelvis, extend both legs. Straighten to the left leg. Let's go on the exhale. Lift it up. Look at your pelvis or feel your pelvis in space. Don't tuck. Think of initiating that front tilt. And let's go. Exhale down. Inhale up. See if you can feel a bit of your hamstrings. Exhale down. 3, 4. Good. Keep going. 5. Make it as much about your core as it is about your leg. So watch how your core responds as you exhale and take that weight away from center. 2 more. Last one, lift. Hands on the quad. Option 1, if you're keeping your rectus out of it, head on the floor. If you want to put that load into your center, bring your head off. Hold and push. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Good. Right ankle crosses over left.